think about how dangerous and damaging it is to have someone who's totally erratic, completely unstable, someone who has aligned himself with, who idolizes.
Have you ever stood up for what's right, even when it meant going against your friends? Well, Liz Cheney just did that on a massive scale, and it's causing quite a stir. She's endorsed Kamala Harris for president, turning her back on her own party. It's like she's the kid who told the teacher about the class cheating on a test.
I'm sure people remember what he did while he watched television as our Capitol was attacked. For over 3 hours, he watched police officers be brutally beaten. He was told the vice president had been evacuated. He said,
and Trump? He's reacting like that kid who got caught. Stick around to see how this brave move could change the game. This has always blown my mind a little bit. 91% that watch this show regularly haven't subscribed. Could I ask you for a small favor before we start? If you like this show, what we do here, and want to support us, the free, simple way you can do just that is by hitting the subscribe button. Well, folks, it looks like Liz Cheney just pulled a switcheroo that's got the whole political world doing a double take. The former Republican darling, once known for her conservative cred and family name, has gone and done the unthinkable. She's endorsed Kamala Harris for president. That's right, you heard it here. Cheney's gone from GOP golden girl to Democrats' new bestie faster than you can say impeachment.
The leading generals who served him, who've all said he's unfit. And people really need to stop and think about how completely unprecedented.
Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer audacity of this move. It's like watching a lifelong vegetarian suddenly become the spokesperson for a steakhouse. Cheney's not just crossing party lines here, folks. She's doing the electric slide right over them, complete with jazz hands and a see ya later wave to her old Republican pals. Remember when Cheney was all about small government, big business, and keeping those pesky regulations at bay? Well, apparently she's traded in her elephant pin for a donkey one, and she's not looking back. Her words are hitting the GOP harder than a toddler's tantrum in a toy store, and let me tell you, it's a sight to behold. But here's the kicker. Cheney's not just endorsing any Democrat, she's throwing her weight behind Kamala Harris, the very woman who's been a thorn in Trump's side since day one. It's like she's playing political chess, while the rest of the GOP is still figuring out how to set up the board. Now, you might be wondering, what's the big deal? It's just one endorsement, right? Wrong, my friends. This isn't just any endorsement. This is Liz Cheney we're talking about. Daughter of former Vice President Dick Cheney, once the third-ranking Republican in the House, and a woman who voted with Trump 93% of the time during his presidency. Her jumping ship is like the captain of the Titanic deciding to swim to New York instead of going down with the ship. And let's not forget, Cheney's not exactly known for being a wallflower. When she speaks, people listen, even if they're not happy about what they're hearing. Her endorsement of Harris isn't just a gentle nudge towards bipartisanship, it's a full-on shove, complete with a megaphone and a marching band. But here's where it gets really interesting. Cheney's move could actually make a difference in swing states. You know, those places where elections are won and lost by the skin of their teeth. Her endorsement might just be the push some fence-sitting Republicans need to jump over to the other side. It's like she's opened up a secret passage in the political maze, and now everyone's scrambling to see where it leads. Of course, not everyone's thrilled about Cheney's little rebellion. The GOP is having an identity crisis bigger than Trump's ego right now. They're caught between a rock and an orange place, trying to figure out if they should stick with the Trump train or jump on the Cheney Express. It's like watching a group of cats trying to herd themselves. Chaotic, confusing, and oddly entertaining. But let's not forget the real reason we're all here. To see how the big man himself reacts. That's right, folks. Trump's response to this little political bombshell is coming up next. And let me tell you, it's not pretty. It's like watching a toddler react to having his favorite toy taken away. Except the toddler is a grown man with access to Twitter and a vocabulary that mostly consists of the words sad, bad, and fake news. Well, folks, it looks like our favorite orange-tinted Twitter addict is at it again. Trump's reaction to Liz Cheney's endorsement of Kamala Harris is about as mature as a toddler throwing a tantrum in the cereal aisle. But instead of screaming for Fruit Loops, he's wailing about crazy Liz and her apparent betrayal of the GOP. Let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer creativity of Trump's latest nickname. Crazy Liz? Really, Donald? Did you stay up all night brainstorming that one? Or did you just pull it out of your MAGA hat? It's about as original as calling water wet or describing the sky as blue. But hey, at least he's consistent in his lack of imagination. Now, you might be wondering why Trump's so worked up about this. Well, it seems that Cheney's endorsement has hit him right where it hurts. His ego. He's accusing her of being a warmonger, which is rich coming from a guy who once bragged about having a much bigger nuclear button than North Korea. Talk about the pot calling the kettle orange. But wait, there's more. Trump's not just content with hurling playground insults at Cheney. Oh no, he's gone full conspiracy theorist on us in a series of posts on his fancy new social media platform. Because Twitter just wasn't truthy enough, Trump claimed that Cheney's endorsement is part of a deep state plot to undermine his totally not desperate attempt at a political comeback. And boy, are his supporters eating it up like it's the last hamburger at a White House buffet. They're parroting his rants faster than you can say fake news, proving once again that critical thinking is about as welcome in MAGA world as a fact checker at a Trump rally. But here's the kicker, Trump's aggressive language and wild accusations are turning off potential supporters faster than you can say cuff F. It turns out that not everyone finds toddler-like tantrums and baseless conspiracy theories appealing in a presidential candidate. Who knew? Meanwhile, the GOP's reaction to this whole debacle is spicier than Trump's taco bowls. You know, the ones he eats to show how much he loves Hispanics. Some Republicans are distancing themselves from Trump faster than rats leaving a sinking ship, while others are doubling down on their support, proving that cognitive dissonance is the GOP's new superpower. One anonymous GOP senator was overheard saying, "If we wanted a leader who throws fits on social media, we'd elect a teenager." Ouch. Looks like not everyone in the party is willing to sacrifice their dignity on the altar of Trump's ego. But let's not forget the real victims in all this, dictionary publishers. They're going to have to add a whole new section just to cover Trump's unique brand of presidential communication. From bigly to huge to whatever the heck Kofif was supposed to mean. Trump's tweets, truths, are about as coherent as a game of Mad Libs played by a drunk parrot. You think Trump's tweets are wild? Wait till you see what's happening inside the GOP. It's messier than a food fight at Mar-a-Lago, and twice as entertaining. Republicans are splitting faster than Trump's pants at an all-you-can-eat buffet, and the fallout could reshape American politics for a generation. The GOP is caught between a rock and an orange place. Some Republicans are Team Cheney, some are Team Trump, and most are just Team Confused. It's like watching a political version of Mean Girls, but with less fashion sense and more old white guys in suits. Picture this. A bunch of Republican senators huddled in a corner, whispering like teenagers at a school dance. Did you see what Liz did? One asks, eyes darting around nervously. I kind of agree with her, but don't tell anyone I said that. Another nods, adding, Trump's gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but I'm too scared to say anything. It's like they're playing a game of political hot potato and nobody wants to be left holding the Trump when the music stops. Meanwhile, some Republicans are giving Cheney secret high fives when no one's looking. They're like, you go girl, but only when Trump's not around. It's as if they're living in a spy movie, exchanging coded messages and secret handshakes. Did you see how I rolled my eyes during that Trump speech? One might brag. That was totally for you, Liz. Speaking of eye rolling, some Republicans are doing it so hard you can hear them from space. NASA's probably getting some weird readings on their satellites. Houston, we have a problem. It seems the entire Republican Party is experiencing some kind of synchronized eye rolling event. Should we alert the president? But here's where it gets really interesting. The younger Republicans, they're distancing themselves from Trump faster than you can say cuff F. It's like they suddenly realize they're at the uncool kids table and are making a break for it. They're probably thinking, wait, we don't have to be the party of weird tweets and bad hair. Sign me up for Team Normal. This whole mess is giving the GOP an identity crisis bigger than Trump's ego, and that's saying something. They're like a teenager trying on different personalities. One day they're all make America great again, the next they're make America sane again. It's enough to give you whiplash. But here's the kicker, this GOP civil war could reshape American politics for a generation. We're talking seismic shifts, folks. It's like watching a political earthquake in slow motion. The aftershocks could be felt for years to come. So will more Republicans follow Cheney's lead? That's the million-dollar question. It's like we're all watching a giant game of political chicken. Who's gonna blink first? Will more GOP members grow a backbone and stand up to the orange menace? Or will they keep cowering in the corner, hoping Trump doesn't tweet mean things about them? One thing's for sure, this isn't your grandpa's GOP anymore. It's more like a reality TV show where the contestants are fighting over the soul of a political party. Survivor, Capitol Hill edition, anyone. Hold on to your political hats, folks, because Liz Cheney's latest move is like she's auditioning for The Art of the Political Deal Extreme Edition. She's not just stirring the pot, she's flipping the whole dang kitchen, and boy, is it getting messy. So what's Cheney's game plan here? Is she sacrificing her career, or is she the ultimate chess master? Well, it looks like she's thinking 10 moves ahead while the rest of the GOP is still trying to figure out how the horsey piece moves. Cheney's not just worried about her next election, she's thinking about her kids growing up in a country where we don't have to bite our nails every 4 years, wondering if the loser's gonna throw a tantrum and refuse to leave the White House. It's like she's trying to baby-proof American democracy, and let's be honest, with some of these politicians, we might need it. Now, Cheney's dropping truth bombs like they're going out of style, and surprisingly, people are actually listening. You know who's really perking up their ears? Those educated suburban women. Yeah, the same ones who used to organize bake sales for the local GOP are now organizing Make America Sane Again rallies. Who would have thought? It's like Cheney's words are catnip for soccer moms. They're trading in their MAGA hats for I'm with her. Wait, what? T-shirts faster than you can say kafefe. These ladies are realizing that maybe, just maybe, having a president who doesn't tweet insults at 3 a.m. might be a good thing. But here's where it gets really interesting. Cheney's not just playing political Jenga with Trump's support. She's going after the whole tower. She's targeting those swing states, you know? The ones that make election night feel like a nail biter every single time. It's like she's found Trump's political Achilles heel and she's aiming right for it. And get this, her strategy seems to be working. Cheney's stand is resonating with more folks than we thought. It's like she's opened the floodgates, and suddenly, people are remembering that politics doesn't have to be a constant circus. Who knew? But let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is still politics after all. It's messier than a food fight at a toddler's birthday party. Cheney's risking everything. Her career, her standing in the GOP, probably even her invite to the annual Republican BBQ cook-off, but she's doing it with the kind of determination that makes you wonder if she's got ice in her veins or just really, really good air conditioning. So what does all this mean for the future of American politics? Well, if Cheney's chess move pays off, we might be looking at a whole new ball game. It's like she's trying to flip the script on what it means to be a Republican. Instead of own the libs, it's more like own up to your actions. Revolutionary concept, right? Well, folks, this political soap opera just keeps getting juicier than a Trump steak left out in the sun. Cheney versus Trump isn't just a battle for America's soul. It's like watching two cats fight over the last can of tuna, but with way more tweets and less fur. Will Cheney's gutsy move inspire other Republicans to grow a spine, or will Trump's Twitter tantrums drown out common sense like a foghorn at a library? One thing's for sure, this drama is more unpredictable than a game of pin the tail on the donkey at a GOP fundraiser. Will we see more Republicans joining Team Cheney, or will they keep hiding under their MAGA hats? Only time will tell, but one thing's certain, this political roller coaster is far from over, folks. So grab your popcorn and maybe a barf bag, cause this ride's gonna get bumpy.